me and my son, Stefan. We're taking care of our 15 beehives, which are located not very far away from here. And at the age of 5, Stefan already starts to understand why is it so important to keep bees. And that's kind of funny, because just 10 years ago, I had no idea that my life is going to go in this direction. You see, I just had my bachelor degree in aeronautical sciences. I was doing my MBA, and I was in the IT sector, getting good money actually for a 20-year-old. And life was one huge party. But that all changed when I saw that graph. This, ladies and gentlemen, represents one of the most crucial things that we are currently witnessing. In this study, conducted for more than 20 years, scientists have evaluated the presence of pollinators at certain areas. The methodology was quite simple. They would offer a sugar source, a feeding source, to pollinators at certain areas, and they would count them manually. Now, the green, the light green color represents the number of pollinators at the beginning of that study in 1989, just 3 years after I was born. And the dark green, well, that's the situation 10 years ago. So we have effectively lost 75% of all pollinators. That's 75% of all pollinators. And if you ask yourself, why should you care about that? It's because, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to be the bearer of bad news here, but we are currently living in the 6th mass extinction of species on our planet. You heard me correct. Life on Earth has been almost wiped out 5 times. And while the last one was with a huge bang and we lost the dinosaurs, this one is happening extremely quietly, quite slowly as well. So, being a human, and a selfish human, of course, I was thinking how it is possible to be able to put people in a rocket and blast them out of our world, out of our planet, and even land them on the moon multiple times. Yet, we are not capable of sustaining little insects. That really broke my mind. I couldn't comprehend it, so I devoted all my time and efforts from that point on into finding sustainable solutions to bringing back balance in our ecosystems and biodiversity. So this led to the creation of the company that was mentioned called Panity. And in Panity, we have 3 pillars. We help beekeepers understand their bees better from a distance using IoT sensors. We kind of listen to the bees and understand the bees and put everything in software so that the beekeeper would know how to react to maintain optimum health and productivity of the bees. On our second pillar, we did something quite easy, let's say. It's a business innovation. It's called Adopt a Hive, and many of you have heard it in Bulgaria. It's called Istinski med, translated literally into genuine honey. So this little initiative grew and grew, and just for 2 years, we became the #1 retailer of honey in Bulgaria. So why is that? It's because honey is a currency. Honey is a token of appreciation from nature to us. But unfortunately, it's also the 3rd most counterfeited product. We have the olive oil and the milk, and then it's honey. And the common thing between those 3 products is that you cannot really taste a fake product. So by creating transparency and traceability in the honey value chain from the hive to your table, we actually brought back trust into the system. And that's very important, and it should be applied to all the rest of the products in the food system. But today I decided to speak about another kind of innovation, the third pillar on which our company has been built, and it's research and education. We engage in research with 6 different universities from across Europe, and we are creating far-out concepts about what the future of beekeeping should look like. How can we maintain trust by traceability and transparency on all different levels? So out of about 12 different systems that we have developed, I chose one that maybe will speak the best to the general audience. It's because it actually features a very beautiful and intricate element of the bee's behavior. It's the waggle dance. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but bees actually dance in order to communicate information about a food source. And understanding this was quite a recent innovation as well, but it goes a little bit like that. So a bee goes out into the world in the morning, finds some great source of food, and returns to the beehive. And it starts to circle in the shape of the number 8, or infinity, if you like it better. So the number of times it circles around the 8 is the distance to the food source. The orientation of that dance compared to the momentary position of the sun right now is actually the direction. And the more the bee twerks is actually the more food there is. So it recruits more and more bees to follow her. So that's quite interesting, and we have been able to decode that. But our partner from the university, the Technical University in Berlin, actually developed a party pooping mechanism. It's called the dance suppression system, and we use it like this. So basically, the bee starts to dance, and we turn on our system. And all of a sudden, all the dances stop. So people right away ask me, how do you use that? Well, basically, when you interface this kind of technology with the bulletin for pesticide spraying, this can actually give you the opportunity to withhold the bees into the hive. So basically, you know that that field over there is going to be sprayed by pesticides today, and you suppress all the dances. And then the second question comes to hand. So what do the bees do that day? Do they just sit around and be lazy all day? No, of course not. These are bees. We have another system for that. It's called the dancing bee robot. And what it does is basically it replicates the dance of the bee. But now the bees are actually being recruited to go away from the pesticides. So we can effectively interface with the behavior of the honeybees. To me, the most surprising thing about this is that it actually works. Because you wouldn't know how hard it is, especially for the poor PhD students, to tag bees in order to be able to follow them around and understand that the bees that are actually visiting your feeder are the ones that you have sent out there. But it's pretty peculiar, and it works. And I wanted to share this for one very specific reason. So bees are quite effective, you know that. And bees are subjected to at least 17 different factors that are killing them all around the world. But in today's day and age, when we are witnessing all the unsustainable practices, all the pollution, and all the stupid wars that we lead, this team of scientists and this kind of activism that we show in engaging people to save the bees, to protect the bees, and to sustain them, is actually giving us hope that we are going to be able to sustain the food for our future generations. And I urge you to think about that and to become an advocate of the honeybees, because they have been caring for us for more than 3.5 million years. And now we are going to be the first ever type of species that is capable and will stop the current mass extinction of species. Thank you.